maneuvering along with me and making this the best experience possible for her. Whether it is, okay, she wants to go to the art room today, or oh, she's in the cafeteria today talking to a volunteer, having a nice conversation and feeling like she's connected to something. And that is so important because there's also home caregiving. Here, she gets interaction with other people, which is so important. It's so
Talk about is just kind of day centers and not necessarily just ours. I know you went to care at one point. Can you just talk about the purpose of day programs and how it's so important for caregivers to utilize programs like that?
well. First of it's a respite, so that's super huge because, as we talked about before, that 24-hour kind of stress takes a toll. So any kind of place where we can kind of get a break, and this obviously day program like this, the Elder Club, will, in addition, as we spoke about, yes, you can have and obviously home caregiving has its place, but day centers like this allow for activities, getting out of the house, interaction, absolutely, because that's so important, especially it can take a while, as you know, with someone with dementia to get used to the kind of routine of it. But once they do, they really thrive, generally speaking. So, I want to kind of put that out to others who perhaps are loved one's not going to be, they're not going to get adjusted. They're going to hate it. They're going to, because
Push that, yeah.
because trusting when they first walk through the door, I knew my mother. Nope, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be here. You can attest to this. Perhaps the first month, you know, she's ready to come home.
Yeah, right. Yes, yes, yes.
And now she is staying throughout the day. She's interacting with other people. Yes, she thankfully she was a color, so she has a mentality for her other, but to give it time and the adjustments will be made, right? And because it then becomes almost a place of, oh, I'm looking forward to going. And my mother does that. And every morning we come, are you ready for coffee and breakfast and hugs? She says, yeah, let's go get some hugs.
Yeah,
Well, no, that is something she looks forward to.
and that's really the beauty for us, right? We want to make sure that we're making a difference and impact with all of our families. One thing I always like to say for any adult day program is communication from the caregiver to the day center director and activities director. Dennis does such a great job with us, talking to us about everything. The coloring is yes, and the coloring piece of it. Again, we want to make sure here that in any day center, really, we'll want to know what makes them stimulated, what keeps them active and engaged, because that's the magic of this place. Doing preventative activities with them, keeping them in stimulated, and again, having that relationship is so grateful for us to have, and it's just really important to have that relationship with caregivers. So it's really, really grateful for that, Dennis. And I guess just to kind of put a nice bow on everything, for all new caregivers, it doesn't have to necessarily be about what would you advice be for them? Any type of things that you would say, like, hey, here's something that you definitely should do or provide, as a caregiver yourself.
Well, there's just things you learn along the way, right? Like I said earlier, oftentimes we think we can do it all by ourselves. Which, yeah, I did that. Hit that out the windows. I couldn't make that for a long time, but again, it takes a toll. It takes a toll on your physical health. So reaching out for help earlier, before you get to a point where you're so stretched that it's taking a toll. Break, I know personally there was a period of time where the stress was so much, my health was kind of suffering. It was high blood pressure, another factor that obviously a day program allows, I can work more hours. I can do exercise. I can kind of take care of my physical health from burning out, right? So if I get sick, who's going to be there from out? That is the so that David, yeah, absolutely. So that is, take care of yourself and reach out for help, right?
And this last point that I think you made, which is beautiful, as caregivers, the biggest, advocator for your loved one will always be the caregiver. I cannot, again, something happens to you or again another caregiver, their loved one is going to. It's almost like roulette or rolling the dice to see who's going to be in charge of this person. So again, that's why it is so for not just from a caregiver, but for the person themselves, that's dealing with this to go in and get these type of services. So Dennis, thank you so much for talking. I know we have a few interruptions along the way, but we roll. But that's part of
It's also part of being a caregiver, right? And make adjustments. I just want to say, and I told you to do this before, the care that you and your staff and my mother and my son has been really, part of also being a caregiver is you don't want to give up that care. You get nervous, right? And I still, I'm constantly, making sure Jeff called when to know that I can drop her off here and she's gonna say, and that is so important because, I've worked also with, like organization, and sometimes you don't know, right? But here I have no doubt that every single person that you hire or bring on as a bear have my mother's best interest at heart. And I've seen that since we've been involved here. And that means the world to me because my mother means the world to me. So I want that care for her, right? I want to give her the care. You guys give her the care that I would give her. So
yeah, that's 100%. We want to treat everyone here like family. Love you. Thank you so much, Dennis. I appreciate your time. And again, if you want more information about it, please visit our website. We have a lot of resources out there. And of course, the testimonial